Welcome to the A Player Adventure Podcast. I'm your host, Suzette West. Welcome back, A Players, to episode 14 of the A Player Adventure Podcast. I'm your host, Suzette West, and the title of this A Player Quick Bite is Softening Hardened Ground, when leadership coherence and authentic courage have been lacking for too long. In this A Player Quick Bite, we will explore not only what happens when leadership coherence and authentic courage are absent from the workplace for too long, but also how leaders can begin to soften the hardened ground that results from long-standing, deep entrenchment in dysfunctional social workplace systems. For this brief exploration, we will continue our metaphor of the workplace as a garden bed, which is tended with care to cultivate human flourishing in the age of accelerated change and rapid AI disruption. As previously explored in episode 13, workplace culture is like the soil of the workplace garden bed. When leadership coherence and authentic courage are absent for too long, the soil becomes depleted of rich nutrients, such as mutual trust and respect, making it difficult to sustain operational coherence and workforce resiliency. The ground hardens as poor environmental conditions exacerbate the issue. Fear, resentment, and mistrust take hold, like noxious weeds, creating entrenched dynamics that are destructive and hinder growth and development. In this hardened ground, even the best ideas and intentions cannot take root. The soil must first be softened. The ground must be weeded, tilled, and prepared for fresh seeds to be planted in the fertile ground of hope and systemic transformation. On Dr. David R. Hawkins' scale of human consciousness, courage marks the minimum threshold of empowerment, the point at which leaders begin to believe in possibilities and meaningful solutions. Without courage, fear dominates, and the soil remains hardened and locked down, preventing any meaningful forward-moving progress. However, with courage, the ground opens, and new life can take hold. But just like the dandelion, which is very good at finding a way to break through, even in hardened ground, growth is still possible. Dandelions find a way to push through the cracks of the pavement, reaching for the light against all odds. Similarly, workplaces can undergo renewal and regeneration, even when dynamics have been entrenched for far too long. This renewal does not happen by accident. It requires intention, leadership coherence, capacity building, and consciousness raising, as Minkler and Wakimoto remind us. And if you like to read books, I'll drop the reference to Minkler and Wakimoto in the show notes for you to check out later. But getting back to our exploration, the key point is to understand that HR leaders, as the master gardeners of human flourishing and the cultivators of workforce resiliency, must learn to co-create workplace conditions that foster growth and build or rebuild mutual trust and respect within deeply ingrained social systems to successfully regenerate the soil conditions of the workplace garden bed. Leaders must learn to restore healthy soil conditions so the culture can sustain life and meaningful progress. Softening hardened ground requires more than compliance or surface-level initiatives. It calls for heart intelligence, qualities like compassion, compromise, active listening, and grace. These do not ignore conflict or difficulty. They create the conditions where trust can grow and solutions can emerge. Courage makes room for both accountability and care, allowing the transformation that workplace soil regeneration brings. The invitation is clear. If we want workplaces that thrive, leaders must be willing to cultivate coherence and courage within themselves and within their teams. This is not about quick fixes, but about tending and regenerating the soil until it becomes fertile again. From there, seeds of possibility can sprout once more. The land can heal, and with ongoing care, grow into a harvest of trust, resilience, and meaningful evidence-based outcomes brought about by leadership champions who are passionate about becoming master gardeners of human flourishing. If you enjoyed this episode and want to go deeper, tune into the A-Player Adventure podcast. Each episode delves into these themes in bite-sized chunks, empowering busy leaders with quick, valuable insights to build coherence, strengthen culture, and transform the future of work. This episode is part of a new format called the A-Player Quick Bite. Short, focused insights designed for busy leaders who do not have much time, but who need practical wisdom to keep pace with the accelerating change in the age of AI disruption. Until next time, this is Suzette West, your host, signing off. Thanks for joining me on this episode of the A-Player Adventure podcast. If something stirred your heart or sparked a new insight, I would love to hear from you. You can connect with me on LinkedIn or share the episode with a fellow leader who's ready to build something real. Remember, personal coherence fuels leadership coherence, and that's what makes team coherence possible. Until next time, stay true, stay grounded, and keep leading with heart.